Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 63 of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, where connections matter. Bringing you interviews of Detroit difference makers every week in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. So, welcome. Thank you for those who are watching live on YouTube. You're watching live on LinkedIn, as well as watching live on Facebook. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm excited. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Happy Monday, the day before um, Valentine's Day. So hopefully you have some great Valentine's Day plans and uh, you experience real love. Real love. It's funny. We're going to talk about real love tonight. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. If you are watching live, just do me a favor. Please like and share. We have a artist spotlight, a Detroit-bred songwriter and singer that we're going to share tonight. And she's going to debut one of her new upcoming songs and share where she'll be performing. So before we go into that, though, um, just a quick question for you. Are you looking to make an impact? Are you looking to become a hero in your community? Well, if you said yes to both of those things, I invite you to join me in being a member of Black Leaders Detroit. This is a nonprofit organization that is supporting Black owned businesses. Uh, they've given over $1 million in grants and funding, helping to support local Black businesses. And you may be asking yourself, how can I make this impact as a member? Well, like me, you can just contribute $1 a week, $1 a week, and you can make an impact and become a local hero. $52 a year annually, or you can give monthly, $4.33. And this fund is used to help Black-owned businesses. Let me share this video to learn. You can learn more about it.
Black Leaders Detroit, they knew that during the pandemic, that Black businesses were going to be left out of any type of funding that the government gave, and they wanted to make sure that they were able to figure out how they could step up and help, because again, this is their community, and they want to make sure that their community is still here when this pandemic is over with. And the only way you can do that is by offering support to your community, and so they stepped up and they did that.
I've been telling everyone I know about Black Leaders Detroit. The things that they're doing is simply amazing. And they're taking care of business for the Black business owners.
It's $1 a week donation to keep this great thing moving. $1 a week keeps it popping. Black Leaders Detroit.
All right. Black Leaders Detroit. So if you want to support, like the lady said, $1 a week keeps it moving. $1 a week keeps it popping. So go to Detroit, Black Leaders Detroit, blackleadersdetroit.org, and you can sign up to become a member, and then you become a face of a hero. So I serve as an ambassador of that, just to amplify and highlight what they're doing. All right, so let's get into our guests for today. We have an artist spotlight, a local Detroit-bred singer and songwriter. Our next guest is a native Detroiter. She's an artist, as I said. She's also a producer. She has background in jazz. And she'll go more into her background and her journey as an artist. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to the one and only isisdamil.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I love it.
So, welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, our artist spotlight. Before we go into specific questions in your background and your journey, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about growing up, where you're from, where you went to school, anything you feel comfortable with.
Sure. Yeah. So Of course, I grew up in Detroit. Both my parents are jazz musicians. I went to Renaissance High School, Renaissance Phoenix, y'all. That's where I got my classical training, my vocal classical training with Miss Nina Scott, the one, the only. And then I graduated from Detroit Mercy with a bachelor's in communications. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay, all right. All right, so you went to Renaissance High School. So are you a West Sider, East Sider?
West side, best side.
All right. West Side. Shout out to the West Side. No hate on the
Yeah,
East Siders, but
nah.
West Side. Okay. All
But
right, so went
it's West side, best side for a reason. I'm just saying.
to. All right. All right. We have some people are joining, so I want to shout out to Julie
Hi,
Pierce. Okay.
happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you know who Julie is?
I don't, but she said
Oh, okay.
happy V
Oh,
Day.
yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so all right, let's get into it. A little bit about your background. Um, so you sing, you write. So how did this all start as a kid? I know you said your parents are musicians. Tell me a little bit how that started for you.
Yeah, I guess music has just been in me so long. Both my parents are jazz musicians. My dad specifically, he was signed to Polygram Records in Paris. He won so many competitions for all of his, musical talents. My mom, she's actually a music educator. Or, well, she's retired now, but she was a music educator. And so I kind of had no choice. Growing up, I tried to fight it. I tried to do everything other than music because I felt like they were forcing music on me. They were so good at it. And I guess I thought that I could never be as good as them or I could never match up. And I'm like, I want to do anything else, but not be a musician. But I kept finding myself I was putting myself in these musical situations on my own without their influence, without, them talking to me, without their connections. And I was like,
Hmm.
you might actually like music. So
Okay.
that's, I made the decision. I was like, let's start doing music. And then my mom and dad stepped in a little bit more and was like, yeah, let's do what we can to
Okay.
make sure that she's successful in music. So they did that. Thanks,
Now,
thanks, parents.
did you start with an instrument or you start with vocals or what was your area?
Yeah. So I started out with piano, and then in middle school, actually, I went to Bates Academy, which is like the dopest middle school in Detroit
Yeah,
ever.
that's where all those geniuses go at, right? The geniuses.
Yes, obviously, obviously. Uh, and at Bates, I learned how to play the flute. And then in my last year, I was in eighth grade. I was like, I don't want to play flute anymore. I'm tired of being first chair flute. I want to play the oboe, so I learned how to play the oboe as well. So
Okay.
I have three instruments. I'm better at the piano, and if you ever catch me at a show, I do bring out a synthesizer every now and then to,
Okay.
to show off some skills.
So you read music or you play by ear or how would you describe
Both,
it?
both.
Okay.
Now because now I don't practice as much as I used to, so my reading is not as great at it as it used to be. But I can play well enough for me. I can play my songs. I write my
Right.
music. I can play my songs. I can play bass notes. I can add padding to it. I can do all of that. I can make my stuff sound amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do most of my playing for me.
Okay. All right, great. And then what stage did you go to where you started to write your own music and your songs? What was your inspiration?
I started writing music so long ago, and it would just be about whatever I was going through at the time. So
Okay.
I'd say my earliest song was probably middle school, and
Okay.
I don't quite remember the lyrics, but I do remember it had something to do with like school and my parents, like me feeling misunderstood, something
Yeah.
like that. And then it just developed from there. I was going to start a girl group with two of my friends, and it didn't work out. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, when we were in middle school, it didn't work out, which is fine, because now I'm who I am. So things
Yeah.
happen for a reason.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so I did start writing songs, and middle school, but they always come from my personal experience. So whatever it is I'm going through at the time, or whatever I feel passionate about in that moment, is where I get that inspiration from.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Um, so you shared about your background. Your parents both. Now, did they specialize in a certain? I know they have a jazz background, but did they play a certain instrument, or what was their?
Yeah, so my dad, amazing keyboardist, a jazz
Okay.
fusion keyboardist and gospel.
Wow.
Um, I actually found out in later years that he played the trumpet. Now, I've actually never heard him play the trumpet,
Right.
but I've heard rumors that he does
Wow.
play the trumpet, which is, I think, a common thing for some piano players, because I do know some other piano players who actually play trumpet as well.
Wow. Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
my mother, her main instrument is this well, instrument, saxophone and flute. But
Hmm.
as a band instructor, she can play all woodwind instrument, and she can
Wow.
play and she can play some string instruments as well. So
Wow. That's
she's
awesome.
she's really the genius. Like, yeah, she's incredible.
So wow. So you have this rich background with being exposed to this great, rich music. Was there certain artists outside of your parents that had a major influence on you growing up?
Yeah, so I listened to mostly jazz growing up,
Okay.
but I'll say my main influence is when I really started trying to find who I was.
Right.
I listened to a lot of Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Bobby
Okay.
McFerrin. My favorite,
Wow.
my favorite piano player is Chick Corea, and then
Wow.
as far as vocals, uh, CeCe Winans. That's when you get into
Right.
gospel.
Right.
Uh, who who else? A lot of people, like just really the soulful
Okay.
voices is who I listen to.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I find it interesting because I saw one of your posts on your Facebook website, and I even shared it to promote our interview. And you was in front of an audience, and you shared about this kind of don't know if it's a tug of war or just how you felt people viewed you or judged you. And obviously, it sounds like you grew up in a sort of a religious background, church background, but also you have interest in being performing as a secular artist. So, how would you define your style of music?
Yeah, so R&B, it's R&B.
Okay,
Um it's R&B, it's soul. It does have these touches of jazz. It does have these touches of gospel as well. But the like when it gets down to it, it's R&B, it's soul music. It's
okay.
music that you can feel, music that makes you feel something, music that you can relate to. That's what I would say. Now, what other people would say, I don't know. That's up to them. And if you have any suggestions, throw them my way. But I would say R&B soul if I had to
R&B soul.
say
Okay.
something.
All right.
Yeah.
So has there been any R&B or neo soul artists that you think hasn't influenced on you, or current artists out there?
Yeah. Uh, so I don't know what people usually consider Beyonce as. I know they try to say
Okay.
that she's a pop artist, and
She's Queen Bee. She's Queen Bee.
she's
She's
Queen Bee. She's Queen Bee, but she's actually an R&B singer,
okay.
and but because she's changed the culture, she's shifted the culture, black culture and music culture, in
Hmm.
many ways, in positive ways. That's why they consider her a pop artist, because she's so popular.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
to me, she is definitely an R&B artist. She sings with soul, especially this last album that she came out with. Even though it has a lot of dance elements, she has a lot of soul in
Right.
there.
Right.
Um, Writing wise, Stevie Wonder is just
Wow. Wow.
uh, he just writes. He writes songs. He's a lyricist, which I
Right.
really love. Who else? Recent, current. I listen to a lot of people for various reasons
Right.
too.
Right.
I do like Shanae Harnett. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
She's really dope. I listen to so much. If you saw like one of my playlists, you'd be like, huh, like I didn't know you could put these two people on the same playlist, but it
Right,
makes
right.
sense. Yeah.
So for your current writing, where do you find your inspiration for your current stuff that you've been working on?
Yeah, it still comes from my personal experiences. I can't write about
Right.
anything that I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
won't say that I can't, because I can empathize and be like, oh, okay, I imagine if I was going through this situation, I would feel like this, and I can write about it like that. But I would prefer
Right.
to actually, it be something that I have personal experience with. Like
Okay.
I can actually tell you about it. I've been through this, and this is the way you get out of it, or this is how you cope, deal, whatever with this situation. And how do I know this? Because I just went through it.
Right.
So
Right.
yes,
So that's the perfect segue on some new stuff you have coming out.
yes.
Um, and I think you wanted to share. If you want to talk about the new song, we're going to actually play that song tonight on our interview, and the origins of that song. And I think you want to. I think was there a period where it took you? There was some time to put this together.
Yeah, so it's a whole story about this song, Real Love.
Yeah.
I was nervous to put it out, but I'm just going to put it out there because I think it needs to be heard. But uh, of course, as you touched on a little bit, growing up, I felt weird being in this performance space. My dad, he's a preacher, but also a jazz artist. So
Yeah.
he plays music in church, but plays in clubs. And so when I was
Right.
growing up, of course, I sang in church and also started singing in clubs. The
Right.
thing was though, being a singer, being the front person,
Right.
people looked at me like, you shouldn't be singing here at the club. Like, why are you at the club and you sing on the praise team? But it's just like when you think about Jesus, and I'm in no way comparing myself at all.
Right.
But
Right.
when
Right.
you think about Jesus, who is flawless in all aspects of being, and he hung out with the the lowest of the lows, the
Yeah.
thugs, the hoodlums, he hung out in these spaces, and it's like, of course, they judged him, and he's
Right.
the son of God, So it's like, how am I any different? I'm nowhere near this perfection, And it's like that's to be expected,
Right.
I understand that maybe you don't understand that, people of the world and in church need to be influenced by music in some kind of way. If you have a positive message and you want to help people, you have to reach them wherever they are. Everybody
Right.
is not everybody is not in church. If everybody was in church, then the world would be perfect, I guess. Or I don't I don't know, whatever. But yeah, you have to go find the people who need healing, who need help, who are
Okay.
seeking help. They may not always come. It's just like going to the doctor. Everybody doesn't always go to the doctor when they're feeling away. Sometimes you got to be like, yo, your arm is literally hanging off your body. I think you should go to the doctor. It's like sometimes you need that friend who kind of pushes you to do it. So
Right.
that's just where I come in. And it didn't always feel like that. They're like, oh no, she's singing in the church. I mean, she's singing in the clubs. Like, you can't sing in church and sing in the club. Like, why not?
Right. Right. Right.
Why not? It's music.
Yes. Yes.
It's
So
music. It touches everybody the same.
right.
So,
Right. So this song, "Real Love," is it? When I read the title, I thought more it was more so about a relationship between two people, but you're talking about something more spiritual. Is that fair to say?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's my love letter to God.
Oh
And
wow,
so,
wow.
yeah, all my life, I felt like I had to turn on and off my personality or my thoughts of you've ever heard of code switching?
Absolutely, I know. I do it at
Yeah,
my day job all the time.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
have my
that's kind of
professional voice and then my regular voice, and then
yes,
around a certain parts
yes,
of Detroit, I have my hood voice. It's code
exactly,
switching. Yeah,
exactly. Code switching, which
yeah,
I hate. I hate it because I feel like you should be able to be yourself, and
mhm,
all the time. And I felt like if I was at church, I had to present myself as this upright, straight
mhm.
church, godly. I don't see anything.
Right, right.
I don't see any distractions at all when I'm at church.
Okay,
And then, but then when I go out, I'm just like, now I can be myself. I can just have fun. I can let loose. But then if anybody at church saw me, and it's not even that I was doing anything bad. Like I said, it could be just as simple as singing at Baker's Keyboard Lounge or singing at a
right.
club. And it's just like, oh, we can't let the church know because that's a club. And it's just like, well, I I met a lot of the members there. They've already seen me
Yeah,
at the club.
right,
So
right, right,
what?
right,
What's your point again? Like what's going on? But it took me a
right,
long
right,
time to feel comfortable with just being me and just getting in where I fit in. Like it's just I got to be me, and also knowing that because I'm spiritual and I do like to have fun, I do stay away from situations where if I can't bring God there, if I can't bring Him with me,
right,
then I don't, obviously, I don't need to be there anyway. I've never been in that situation, and my relationship is not your relationship. It's not the
right.
same. So when people put those expectations, those judgments, those stereotypes on me, it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't understand. You should probably tighten up your relationship because
right,
that's
right.
my homie. We
Yeah,
homies over here. Like we're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Awesome.
it is just my love. The song is just my love letter. Talking about my confusion. Like
Hmm.
I live in these two worlds, God, but how do I be me? Like
Right,
there's in no way that I would ever abandon you. But
right,
these other people are making me feel like I am, or
right.
like I'm this abomination or something. And I'm like, that's
Yeah,
not the case because you're with me all the time. How can that be? You know.
right,
So
right. So let's why don't you do the honors and introduce this song? We're gonna play it.
yeah. So the song is called "Real Love," and I'm sorry. Another quick story before we actually
Okay,
play it.
okay.
So I recorded this song back in 21,
Hmm.
and I actually found this beat, an amazing producer online. I found the music, and I'm like, oh, I have got to have this song. The song, when you listen to just the music alone, it's something that sounds like it could be more sexually suggestive. I'll say,
Right,
like it just sounds more like a secular kind of love. But I was like, I want to flip it. I think that there's a thin line between everything, and you can make
right,
anything love, or you can make it spiritual. I think there's a thin line, and that's kind of where the song hints at, and
okay,
kind of where my future music is coming out. The music that I'm going to be releasing soon as well.
okay.
Um, but anyways, it is the same music as a very popular song. The artist just won a Grammy.
Right.
Money Long. Congratulations to her. She can
Yeah.
sing. She sang that song down. I cannot lie though. I was crushed when I heard it come out, and I was like, I recorded this song, and I sent it
Right.
to the producer prior to this coming out, prior to the song being released. Her
Right.
song, and I was trying to have it for myself. I was trying to have exclusive rights to it.
Right.
And he was like, basically, he was like, I need an astronomical amount of money to give it to you. And I was just
Right.
like,
Right.
well,
Right.
I don't know about that. So when the song came out, obviously devastated, and I questioned my whole process as an artist. I was like, maybe I shouldn't release this at all.
Right.
But artists do that all the time. And then
Yeah.
it also made me feel like I was so close, right? Because if I had released it first and it just so happened to blow up, that would have been excellent, like
Right. Right. Right.
a game changer. Like I just feel like I'm so close, and to not release it, I feel like I would be doing myself my younger self a disservice.
Okay.
Like release the music. At least give the people a chance not to like it. We don't know if they're gonna like it or not. We'll never know if they never hear it. So
Right.
I've released all my fears,
Okay.
all my like my all of my reservations of the song. I'm releasing it. This is very deeply personal, and however it's received, it's gonna be received. But I'm putting it out there. I'm putting myself out there. So this is real love.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God, it's been heavy on my mind. Always ticking is the time. You know that I love you. Oh, God, can you hear me calling your name? Calling your name. Calling your name. See, I live in two worlds, but can they be one? Can they be one and the same? You show me real love. You show me real love. You show me love. You show me real love. You show me real love. Oh, God, don't you see my predicament? I wanna hear you say, well done, my servant. Oh, God, you know that I need you. Nothing to no one between us. Believe what I'm speaking, God. Ooh, you show me real love. You show me real love. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you show me real. You show me real my God, my God. You show me love. You show me love.
All right. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that was real love. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Releasing this Friday.
So you're releasing it this Friday?
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So that's a good segue. So obviously you produce other music. How can our audience learn more about you and stream your music or purchase your songs or
Yeah, so just isisdamil as you see on the screen, ISISDAMIL. That's all my social media. That's how you can find me on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, whatever it is that you use. That's how you can find me. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, my Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Follow me on all social platforms and come see me perform more than anything. More than anything. I love to perform. I love
Next,
being on
tell
stage.
us, you got any upcoming shows?
All the shows. I have all the shows. March March 21st, which I'm telling you guys first
March 21st. Okay.
before I make it public, I am doing a private a, a private concert. So it's very limited. I'm only doing 50 tickets. You can come through. It's going to be at the Audio Engineers of Detroit, the Black Box Theater.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, it's going to be intimate. I'm only inviting 50 people. You come through, you're going to get exclusive new music, unreleased
Oh,
music. Yeah, it's going to be
wow.
a really, really nice experience, an
So it's an
experience that you haven't seen
invite only,
before.
right? Was it?
It's invite only, and you guys are getting the invite first. Yes, you're getting
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay.
Yes, you guys are
Okay.
getting it first.
I definitely
Um,
want to support
yes, please.
the
Yes.
21st, which is that a Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
come through if you can, like I said.
Right,
And
right,
it's not
right.
gonna be I'm not gonna have y'all out super late, it's gonna be real chill.
All
Now, April 5th, I will be at Spotlight. I do have a concert at Spotlight, and
okay.
that's gonna be up all night. So if you don't wanna dance, then this is not
Right,
the event for you. But if you do wanna hang out and dance, that's a Wednesday night. Come
right.
through, have a good time, get some new music, wear whatever you gotta wear to dance all night. I want y'all to be comfortable, but that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be dancing. We're gonna have
Okay.
fun. Yeah,
Okay. And they can get that on your website. Um,
absolutely.
okay. Just
And that's isisdamil.com. Yep.
isisdamil.com.
Yes.
They can find out. What do you enjoy most about performing live?
Just being in front of people, in real life, expressing my ideas live. I love that. I love
Mhm.
to sing out like live. I love to do that. I love to express myself live. I love the spontaneity of live performances. Um, so again, by me having my background in jazz, a lot of jazz musicians do like scatting solos and things like that, which is
Right.
not necessarily common for R&B and other genres of music. So I like to call that like reactive music. So it's
Right.
like it's all a game to me. It's all a game. We're on stage and I do something and the piano player does something back, then I react back to it, or the bass player, the drummer,
Wow.
whoever. I like to have fun, and it's just
Yeah.
like you know who if I throw something, who's gonna catch it? Let's have fun, and that's what I really appreciate about live performance. And I like to show the audience how much fun it is just to be up
Right.
here
Right.
bouncing ideas. You're watching ideas in real life, in real time. It's
Yes.
it's great.
That's awesome. What would you
Yeah.
say if you can describe the way you do your music, your style? If you can describe it with a phrase or a word, what would that be?
Describing my music or style,
Yeah, with a phrase or a word, what would you choose?
vocals, stage, song.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
I'm gonna provide the vocals to you. I'm gonna provide the stage vibes. It's only good vibes.
Right.
Only. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're not getting nothing else from me. And the soul is because the music is music that I put together with you in mind, with me in mind too, because we're all on this journey together.
Right.
But with everybody in mind, like we just on this path together, trying to do our own thing.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I do want to say your voice sounds amazing. I
Thank you.
enjoyed the song. Thank you for sharing that with our audience.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone to go to isisdamil.com to find
Isis
out.
Deville.
Oh,
Yeah. Mhm.
isisdamil.com, her website to find out where she's performing. Uh, make sure you're streaming her music and so support. What's the best way we can support you as an artist here in the Detroit area?
Yeah, so you can come to shows. If you do want to support me, I do, if anybody wants to be a sponsor or a donor or anything, you can donate to my Cash App at dollar sign Isis DeMille. or Zelle, isisdamil@gmail.com. Those are the best ways to, help support my live music and make sure that I'm continuing to give you the best possible product that I can give. So yeah,
Okay. We have your email up there on the slide.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we have that. So yeah, I want to encourage everybody to support. Lastly, what I ask all my guests as we wrap up, um, what would you say? Maybe a book that has influenced you, or maybe a individual that has influenced who the person you are now that you can share with our audience.
Oh wow. I find an influence or like a positive influence in a lot of people,
Okay.
whether it's positive or negative. But mostly my team that I have around me right now. My manager, she just stepped away for a second, but she speaks life into me every chance she gets. My parents, they speak life into me. They want
Mhm.
nothing but the best for me. My friends, they push me. They tell me if I'm wrong. They make sure that I'm on, if I'm feeling down and out, because to be honest, this is not for the faint of heart. And sometimes I question whether or not I made the right decision, doing
Right.
music full time. And my friends remind me, like, it takes courage, it takes guts to do what it is you're doing, and everybody can't do it. So the
Right.
fact that you're even in the position that you're shooting for it, you believe in yourself, you got to do it. So they speak life into me all the time. So just my current camp right now,
All right.
they're speaking so much life into me, and it's just wonderful. It's
All right.
it's great. Yeah,
That's awesome. Shout out to your team and your parents
yeah.
for the work that they're doing.
Oh
Um,
man,
Before we let you go, if there's people who may watch this, we shared about how they can find out about your music by going to your website, following you on
yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. What about those who may are promoters who are looking to book you? Are you open to
Yeah.
that? Do they just reach you out to your Gmail, or what's the best way?
So that's a different email. That's
Oh, oh, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to share that. Maybe
yeah.
you
No,
have a team
I
that handles it.
can.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I can. Yeah. So and it does go to my team, but it's mgmt at
Hmm.
isisdamil.com. So basically management at isisdamil.com.
Okay.
mgmt at isisdamil.com.
All right. All right. Those are for those who are watching who may want to book you for an event or a concert. You never know who's going to see this, so just want to
Exactly,
put it out there.
exactly.
Any final words as we close out? Any final words?
No, I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope it's filled with lots of love, 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 love. And even if it's not love for another person or with another person, I hope you show yourself all the love that you deserve. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, all right. Well, I really appreciate you. Our show is about celebrating the contributions of those who are in Detroit,
Yeah,
who are contributing to or giving positive contributions. And this is a show that we celebrate what people are doing. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to give us your flowers. So uh, I know that you're going to do great things, and I'm glad you came here to the Detroit
yeah.
Metro Plug podcast because at some point you're going to be on big stages.
Oh,
And
yes, very
yeah,
soon.
so
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for this opportunity and wishing and praying for you to have much success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks again for being on the podcast. All right, so that wraps up our podcast for today. Thank you for those who joined us live for the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. And if you find value in what we're doing, we're a show where it's a stage where we really highlight difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, artists, authors, entrepreneurs, business leaders, community leaders who lead nonprofits doing positive things. Our show is about positivity and celebrating the contributions. And if you find value in that, I encourage you to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Every week, we're going to continue this on and just really highlighting the positive things here that's happening in Detroit. I'm going to share this quick video and as we close out, and I'll see you next week.
Hey everyone,
This is Charles with Detroit Metro Plug Podcast. If you are finding value in today's video, I invite you to subscribe, like, and comment. We would love to hear your feedback. And don't forget to click on that notification bell so you can be notified when we have upcoming episodes of difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. If you're interested in being a part of our Facebook networking community, I invite you to click on the link to be a part of that community. This is a place where you can network with like-minded people and a chance to share about your product or service. If you're interested in working with me directly on how you can share your story with video or with podcasting, you can email me direct at DetroitMetroPlug313@gmail.com. Thanks again, and let's get back to this interview.
Yeah. Oh God, it's been heavy on my mind. Always ticking is the time.